Hello and welcome to Simply Sport with me Neeraj Prabhu. The last week has been a dramatic experience with regards to the action in the World Cup. The action on field and of course off the field. Two big teams have been eliminated from the World Cup. The last year's champions Italy and the runners-up France are out. The action has been riveting and the drama has been heart-stopping at times. And to discuss more about the World Cup action and the atmosphere, we have two guests in our studio today. GFA Secretary Savio Macias, who has been to the World Cup in South Africa and has brought these vuvuzelas with him. Savio, welcome to the show. And I have Brahmanand Shankwarkar, of course, who was with us even in the last edition of Simply Sport. Brahmanand, former India goalkeeper, and Arjuna awardee. Brahmanand, welcome again.
Thank you.
Savio, you have been to the World Cup. How do you describe your visit to South Africa?
It was a fantastic experience. Well, it has been my second World Cup. I think the first World Cup was better, but South Africa was really, it was a great experience. The matches were superb. The atmosphere at the stadiums was great. They have some very lovely stadiums, newly built stadiums, and I think it was really awesome.
Okay, we have seen following the World Cup on TV. We have seen the big stadiums. They are looking really good. But many a times there are a lot of empty seats in the stadium. Why do you think this is happening in there?
Well, I did see a few empty seats. I think sometimes people can't make it to the stadium because I know I had some few friends who were to sit next to me and they couldn't make it. But I think there were quite a few empty seats seen at some of the matches. Well, some matches were sold out. Like I had a friend who wanted to come for a match between Brazil and Ivory Coast, and he couldn't get tickets. Finally, we managed to get some tickets, but in black and in a high premium.
Brahmanand, you have World Cup TV but you have been to two World Cups in the past in South Korea and then in Germany. Now, you have said that vuvuzelas are a big disturbance, and you are not in support of vuvuzelas. Yeah. Now, Savio, what is your view about vuvuzelas?
Well, I would support Brahmanan because I think they are quite a nuisance. I know at some of the matches I had people sitting just behind me with a vuvuzela. So when a man sits behind you with a vuvuzela, the end of the vuvuzela is just next to your ear, and it's quite irritating.
Okay. Even on TV, do you feel that it is eating up your pleasure of listening to some high-class commentary?
Definitely, because if I really want to keep my ear close to that particular thing from the referee, comments, but it's difficult to get it. Very difficult, because you don't know what type of sound just we go zoom, sometimes comes down, gives go high level changes, and it's real disturbance.
Okay. And at the stadium, as you have said, the noise is deafening because this is right next to the ear. What about the players? What about the players? Will they be able to listen to the referee's whistle?
Well, I think the players probably could listen to but the players nearby, not the players far away from the referee. As for me, I never heard. In 5 matches I witnessed, I never heard the referee blow the whistle. And I didn't even hear the whistle when he started the match or ended the match.
Okay.
It was really noisy.
Okay. Brahmanand, tu last time Germany खेलो, how was the atmosphere in and out of the stadium?
It was fantastic, especially out of the stadium. Is that once you go 3 hours or 4 hours in advance, you can see lots of things, a lot of souvenirs, shopping around. People are enjoying them in different ways. It's a really good experience, and everything was so systematic. Even you didn't have to ask for someone which side you have to go. Everything is marked well with signboards, and I tell you, it's very safe.
And how were the people there?
It was because the only thing, one match between Sweden and England, I was really in a jam with Bruno.
Okay.
We were going with the local train, and both the supporters, on one side is English with the red and the other side is the Swedish, abusing each other. They were also drunk. And some of them are getting down, walking out, and I told Bruno, let's be on the side. If something goes wrong, let's run away as fast as possible because they were really high. I'm telling you, really. But it's a pleasure to watch all that, you know. Yeah.
And in the vicinity of the stadium, any cultural programs and any entertainment programs being organized there? Do you remember anything?
Yeah,
like that?
small things were going around.
Was it nice?
It was good. It was good. Even some campings were there.
Okay.
Some caravans and people were having their tents on the side.
So basically, it was just
Yeah.
a festival atmosphere.
Absolutely.
In Germany.
Yeah,
You have also been to Germany. Now you have been to South Africa. How it is there as compared to what Brahmanan has described from your German experience? And regarding, you have also been to Germany, so you'll be able to tell us how different these both World Cups are.
Well, the atmosphere, like if you're talking about, you know, while you're going to the stadium, the atmosphere in South Africa was better because they had a lot of performers, and you know they had people doing the waving flag, then a lot of music, a lot of people were dancing, and Africans are really very good dancers, and they can dance to any rhythm,
Right.
And also there were floats, carnival floats, and it was a better atmosphere than Germany, I think.
Okay. And how do you describe the locals there and the cabbies and the helpers? What do you make up of?
Well,
that?
I must confess, the people there are very, very hospital. The hospitality is superb. They are very courteous. They go out of their way to help you, and the ushers were doing an excellent job. And they are very, very, very helpful.
Right.
I mean, we got lost a couple of times, but we were, the people went out of their way to escort us to our destination.
Okay. Now, when FIFA allotted the World Cup to South Africa, there were a lot of apprehensions regarding the venue because South Africa is known to have a high crime rate and even the high population of HIV infected people. So now, do you think that this has been a factor in maybe the fans maybe not coming to South Africa in large number, or this has just been ignored and it's fantastic there?
No, crime has been a factor which I think many people thought of before coming to South Africa, and that prevented many people from coming. We were quite scared of traveling at night. But fortunately, we never came across any such incidents. But this kind of incidents happen all over the world. I was pickpocketed in Germany, you know, and you can have, because normally at such events, pickpocketers from all over the world come down, and people who want to commit any crime, robbers and all, they all come to such venues because it's an excellent venue where you can steal and do something. But overall, I think they did an excellent job in South Africa.
Okay. And now, regarding your trip to World Cup, and what have you brought from your World Cup trip? I mean, it's a big occasion, and there are a lot of things to learn regarding the administrative and maybe organizational and infrastructural aspects. So, overall, how would you define your visit, and what knowledge have you gained from it?
Number one, I enjoyed the football. Number two, I inspected the stadiums. Well, you don't get much opportunities to go into the dressing rooms and other areas. You're only restricted to the area where the sitting area. But one of the good achievements we achieved was, you know, we were invited by the Australian Football Federation to a get together with the Australian fans. And we were also invited to a meeting which was to be addressed by the Australian Sports Minister and the President of the Australian Football Federation. Mr. Tony Botello and Vinod Parkot and myself were all three invited to both functions. We attended the first function, the second function we couldn't attend. But it was great mixing around with the officials from the Australian Football Federation who were very kind enough and treated us as VIPs. In fact, they even gave us a VIP invitation where we had access to the headquarters, to the hotels, and to all the facilities available to the Australian fans.
Okay. Now, Brahmanan, in India, I think it's a kind of a customary to have politicians to head sports associations and federations. Now, whenever such big events, big tournaments are held, we have seen that the minister leads his entourage and goes on a tour to a big tournament. Now, in the past, it has happened. In 2006, a minister from here and his officers had gone to the tournament. Now, do you think such trips by the government, top brass government people are anyways helpful to have better infrastructure in Goa, for that matter?
Well, I've heard about ministers going to the last World Cup, government officials, SAG executive director going to the last World Cup. They went to Dubai and Doha, and now they're going to the next World Cup. But I have seen no improvement in the facilities. Do you see any improvements? Well, we still can't get floodlights in Goa.
Right.
And we're talking about going and watching World Cup matches when we cannot get a floodlit stadium. We cannot have an all-seater stadium. We cannot even think of organizing any international matches because the main stadium like Fatorda does not have sufficient facilities. So I feel that the trips to these to visit all these kind of venues is just pointless.
Right. Brahmanand, when you have gone to last couple of World Cups, what kind of points did you make and perhaps try to get it implemented in Goa?
First of all, I think we have got to see that proper stadium, very important. Now we think of improving the football standard. Savia Sabha floodlights has been committed so many times. It was long back when Duler was inaugurated in Duler Stadium. See, I think unless this floodlight comes to us, first of all, we won't get best of the teams in the world to come and play in Goa, number one. Number two is when you play in the floodlights, you can get best of the performance from the players. This is very important. When you play at 4 o'clock, when you see a team from Gulf coming to play against Churches Brothers, or for example, Dempos of the Asia Cup, you see at 4 o'clock, can you see a match there? We see some of them walking and in the second half they rise up. It is not correct, in fact. So I think we are too far, in fact. If we are so passionate enough for football, we got to fulfill the conditions required for football. As fast as possible, the government should act on this.
Right.
I think so we should not have a delay on this. Otherwise, we have no love for the game. I think so. Only the people who love for the game may be at home watching on the television itself, nothing else.
I think the message is loud and clear from both our panelists here. I think the officials, when they make a trip to such tournaments, do something really needful, and when they come back, implement the ideas and lift our standard of football, and only then I think we'll be able to realize our words and perhaps the dream of getting India into the World Cup. Now switching to the action, we have had a really dramatic last week, and it all started last Friday when Mexico defeated France, and then there was big drama, not only on the field but off the field, as French fought amongst themselves, and now they are out. Brahman, you have watched that France versus Mexico match. Where do you think it all went wrong for the Les Bleus?
I think for France's concern, everybody was expecting France to go ahead further in this competition, but they were on the course of going through, and but what I'm trying to say is they should have been more serious about the performance, what you call that do or die attitude, which was missing. But they were trying to find ways. It is not that they are not simply playing football. They were trying to find ways. But I think that moment when the defenders were trying to, I don't know whether it was, cannot say make it very clear on the television, when Hernandez was about to put the ball, he was slightly sneaked in behind the defense. But I'm still wondering why the defender did not follow the person immediately right on that moment. And once the overhead ball was put for him, he darted in, he never looked at what's happening with the offside on, he just went in, cut past the defender, scored a goal. I think that is a turning moment where France could not get back into this.
So it was the French defense being caught out by the opponent.